Hey there, groovy dudes and dudettes. This is Stomper Be Thompin', and in this video I'm going to give you guys a 10,000 mile, 1 year review of my Cooper Discoverer AT3 LTs. I had previously the Cooper Discoverer ST Maxx tires in their E-rated form, so throughout this review I will be comparing these tires to my experience with those. I had a 5-tire rotation going on, and I got about 80,000 miles, so I could have easily pushed it to probably 90 to 95. I'm going to run through some specifications for you real quick on this new tire and how it compares to the old one, and I'm going to give you my impressions of towing with it, driving in snow, and just kind of using it as a daily commuter and for light off-road use. So just so you guys know, I'm kind of quickly becoming a Cooper fanboy. I've had great experiences with these tires thus far, so is my brother, but I mean, I'm not stupid. I understand that other manufacturers make great tires as well. I'm going to talk about that a little bit at the end. But these Coopers are in size 275, 70, 17. They are E-rated, load range E. However, they only have a 2-ply polyester for the sidewall. For reference, the Discover ST Maxx tires that I had in an identical size, they had a 3-ply sidewall, one of the plies running slightly diagonal at approximately 10 degrees, which gave that sidewall much better puncture resistance. So that is something to consider if you are an overlander or if you're taking these tires off-road quite a bit. These came with 16.5 30 seconds of tread according to Cooper's website. I think if you get the AT3 XLT, the slightly beefier one, you get maybe another 1.5 millimeters of tread depth, and you also get a more aggressive looking sidewall. I think that the compound is exactly the same, and that those two things are the only difference between the XLT and the regular LT. These tires in this size weigh 52 pounds. That's about 7 pounds lighter per tire than the ST Maxxes. That's again according to Cooper. And all this other nonsense. They got a free 45-day test drive if you buy them from Cooper. They have a 60,000 mile tread wear protection, and they're made in the USA. Additionally, these tires do have the Mountain Snowflake on them, and they're M&S rated. So if that's a legal requirement for you in your area, they have that. Sorry for the sniffles. It's 20 degrees out here, Fahrenheit, so pretty chilly. But definitely check Cooper's website in regards to the whole Mountain Snowflake thing. It seems like specific sizes are Snowflake rated and some aren't in the same exact tire, so check that out. So I really wanted to splice in some action shots here, but the ground is frozen solid, and even with open diffs in the front and rear, just leaving my locker off, 8-track off, and all that, I won't even spin a tire. I already climbed some of the steeper hills here, and it's like driving on pavement because this ground's so frozen. So sorry about that. But so when I run through my experience with these tires, keep in mind that I do check my PSIs on a regular basis. My truck is quite a bit heavier than a regular 5th generation 4Runner. I'm coming in at about 5,500 pounds, give or take 100 pounds, because I've got so much extra kit on here. But again, I've got about 10,000 miles. I've had these for about 1 year, and the road noise is noticeably a lot quieter than the ST Maxx tires. Those were bearable when I first got them. I don't really care about road noise. If I'm buying a mud tire, I know they're going to make a lot of noise. I don't care. Some people really do care about road noise though. So buyer beware. With the ST Maxxes, it was bearable when they were brand new. As they hardened and wore down over the years with regular rotations and constant PSI checking, I got very even wear out of those. They got a lot louder, noticeably louder. In fact, I had a buddy in the back seat driving on the highway. He just gave up trying to talk to me because couldn't hear anything that was going on. So with these Discoverer AT3 LTs, the road noise is so minimal compared to those. So obviously they're going to get a little bit louder over time. That's to be expected, but minimal road noise, and even less so in the Discoverer, what is it, the 4S? My brother has those on his 4Runner. Exceptional tire, a little bit extra siping in each lug, and a slightly different compound according to Cooper. So the compound in the 4S is supposed to be better for wet weather and inclement type of conditions, snow, slush, and things like that. I have found, nice segue, I had these in about 2.5 to 3 inches of snow covered roads the other day. It was a bit of a wet snow too, so like a little bit of slush in there, and they were exceptional. I noticed that the traction control kicked in way less often than it had with my ST Maxx tires, and I consider those an outstanding wet weather and snowy road tire. But with any of these light truck tires and these all-terrain tires, obviously they're not going to stop like a proper snow tire. All right, so yes, traction in the wet. One other detail I want to give you guys is the traction in the wet. These perform as good, if not better, than the ST Maxxes did for me. I rarely ever, if ever, hydroplaned with those ST Maxx tires, and the same has gone for these. It could be the fact that they're a 275 width combined with the heft of the truck, so that could be a contributing factor. I don't really know, but so far I am supremely pleased with these tires as far as wet weather, commuting, and towing, and things like that. They tow great. They're an exceptional tow tire. Not much to say about that. I mean, look at the tread pattern on them. It's pretty simple. One other thing about wet weather. In my review video of my Cooper ST Maxxes, I commented how the what are those things called? I commented how the Cooper ST Maxxes would slip whenever you drove over an expansion joint on a bridge. It's like, what, 8 feet of slick metal? If it was even just misting out, I'd be driving at a regular speed, at a regular RPM, and those ST Maxx tires, especially when they were kind of worn down, they would spin for that half of a second or quarter second, and then they'd catch on the pavement. And again, at 2,000 RPM, 2,500 RPM, and these don't really do that. They have yet to do it to me. Okay, so let's talk really quickly about why I picked these tires and what they're good at and what they're not good at. This is pretty simple. I chose a tire based on my needs, not on my wants. I think that the SGT Pro by Cooper is a pretty great tire. I've heard great things about it, but I don't need a mud tire at all, really. I mean, this truck has some great off-road goodies on it. It's got a rear locker. It's got A-Track, which is just traction control for off-road. It's got crawl control. It's got all that stuff. Plus I have a winch, plus I have Maxx tracks, plus I usually drive with a buddy. I don't really need a mud tire because I'm not really seeking it out. I'm not afraid to go through it, but not desirable. So with these so far, I've taken them through light off-roading and they've done great. They've done a lot better than I thought they would. And if you think that stepping up to the ST Maxx is going to give you better mud traction, I would hesitate on that a little bit. I like hybrid tires, but in my minimal experience with these types of things, I would just pick a mud tire or pick an all-terrain tire and have them perform better at those individual tasks. Obviously, a mud tire is going to perform way better than an ST Maxx or one of these AT3s in the mud. And the AT3s are going to perform a lot better on road than those ST Maxxes. The hybrid tire I found was okay all around, but it didn't give me that additional mud traction that I was really looking for. And I did put those through some mud. Now, I want to speak quickly to the cut and chip resistance. The ST Maxx had pretty good cut and chip resistance. I actually took those off-roading all throughout the South, through the Southwest. We did hundreds of miles in Colorado, in Utah, and Arizona. did the Alpine Loop, we did the Black Bear Pass and all that. I took them up to Roush Creek in Pennsylvania and really beat the snot out of them up there. And oh, here comes the wind. And they had pretty good cut and chip resistance, I will say. I haven't abused these tires like that, so I can't really speak to that. I imagine they'll do pretty good based on how the ST Maxxes did. So in conclusion, I really gotta say that this is one of my favorite tires on the market right now. Based on my driving style nowadays, I picked up a couple of ATVs, and those are kind of what I thrash and abuse on some more hardcore off-road trails. I don't really beat this truck up as much as I used to, which is ironic, because normally you do that to older trucks and not newer trucks. But hey, this 4Runner's still been trouble-free for like 90,000 miles, and I've romped her pretty good. But yeah, these tires, I'm probably gonna buy something extremely similar to these from here on out. You know, even on future vehicles. I don't ever see myself having a mud tire because I just don't hit it that much. This is, in my opinion, one of the best all-terrain tires on the market. Now, take what I say with a grain of salt. There's countless tires I have not run on my own personal truck yet, and let's be honest, all these manufacturers are putting incredible technology into a lot of different tires. So take your pick. You're almost certainly going to land on a good one. I would say that there's very few tires out there that are garbage. Probably the only thing you really got to look out for these days are how well some of these tires do in wet traction, especially as they wear down. The thing I like about Cooper the most is their wet weather traction. I commute in the DC area quite a bit, and I want that safety for wet weather traction. I don't want to be hydroplaning, and I don't want to be sliding to a stop if I can avoid it, especially with these crazy DC drivers. But there's some tires out there like the Falcon Wild Peak. What is it, the AT3, or not AT3? Their new all-terrain tire. The non-light truck version has a silica infused tread compound, which really increases its wet weather traction, but the light truck tire does not. So that's what I like about Cooper, is that they retain some of those compound capabilities even in their light truck tires. So this video's gone on long enough. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about these tires that I can possibly answer, let me know. Thanks. Bye.